Hello. You just reached MRN Crew Call, presented by Hercules Tires. Your patience while holding is appreciated. Our representatives are working hard to get you closer to the guys on top of the pit boxes, over the wall, and on your radio dial. Thank you for holding. You are now being connected to your hosts, Tony Rizzuti and Kid Cruz.
Welcome to MRN Crew Call, presented by Hercules Tires. I'm Tony Rizzuti, and back from the star-studded, I'm telling you, it was the Kid Cruz cruise, the one and only Kid Cruz.
Hey, thank you very much.
Dude, you were with the Gas Monkey Garage guy. You know this
Do
dude?
you know Richard Rawlings? Are you familiar with him?
I don't. I'm familiar with him, but I didn't know you were hanging with celebs,
It was called Cruising with the Monkey. I got invited. Why would you say no to a free cruise?
No doubt.
Yeah.
I bet many a beverage was consumed on the Monkey
So
Cruise.
on last week's episode, you showed the photo of us.
Yeah.
It popped up. I don't think either one of us remember taking the photo. And this is true.
That was the Bon Voyage party.
That was still in Fort Lauderdale. We hadn't even left port.
Oh my
it's a
goodness.
true story.
Have you recovered? Do you have a water? Should we get you something?
I have some water down here. Lots of water. That's what you do after a 7-day cruise.
Very nice.
Lots of water.
Very nice. Hey,
Ivy.
don't forget, you can join our conversation. You can ask Kid all about the cruise. You can follow us on Twitter at MRN Radio is our handle. Just use the hashtag AskMRN. Kid and I, we answer every question. A lot of fun. You can also follow us on Facebook. Just go to facebook.com/Motor Racing Network. And we have the Fan Forum hotline. I love this thing.
Yep.
1-844-4AskMRN. Love to hear your feedback on that. Great show today. Every show's a great show, isn't it, Kid?
This is exceptional, though. This is a really good. What is this, like episode 5?
Yeah, I think so. We've
It's
made
really
it this
good.
far.
Yeah, I like it.
We may make it back for the fall. Hey, we'll make our first crew call out to Colorado. Talk to Cole Pearn. He's the crew chief of the Furniture Row number 78. Martin Truex Jr., the driver. Already a win in the bag, so it'll be good to hear from him on their strategy moving forward.
I'm excited about Cole Pearn. I love all the Coles of NASCAR. Do you?
Cole
Custer,
Slaw.
Cole Custer, Cole Trickle,
Yeah.
Cole Pearn,
Yeah, look at you go. You got any more?
Cole Yarborough. Is that one?
That's a stretch.
I'm sorry. Kale.
Then we will make our crew call out to Altamont, Illinois. Our own auctioneer, our own horse caller. He knows more about horses than any of us. Kurt Becker will be on the program. That'll be a lot of fun.
He's
and then
known
we will
as a friend of basketball among those who live
Really?
in Central Illinois. True story. Yes,
Well,
a friend of basketball. He's in a Hall of Fame. We'll ask him about
This
that.
is
Yeah.
the time to be a friend of basketball with the tournament going on. I think I just said basketball, which is interesting. Then we'll close it out with our highly successful game show. 5 on, 5 off. You know it, you love it.
Tyler
the game was
Burnett broke it.
It was broken last week, but we now have a tiebreaker question, so we have evolved here on Crew Call.
Little Chris Farley
should be
came
a lot of
in
fun.
and broke the whole thing.
Yeah, he did.
You were like David. It was like Tommy Boy. It was like little Chris Farley, and you were David Spade, and the whole thing just went off the rails. It was great.
By the way, we have a theme today.
Okay.
It's STP week here, getting ready for the STP 500 at Martinsville. So the topic today, the theme today, hot diggity. Just throwing that out there for both of you, hot diggity. Kid, we've had really the who's who of country music on the program so far. This week, I heard you had a chance to talk to Craig Campbell.
Yes, I did. And I think he's cool. Our producer, Robbie Mays, would consider him a who is that among country music. He just doesn't know. So I'm going to take an opportunity to introduce you folks to Craig Campbell. He's a part of this week's Crew Cut. He grew up in Georgia, loves NASCAR. He's been to some NASCAR races, and he has some advice on what to do when you go to a NASCAR race. Right, Craig?
Oh, it's pretty awesome, man. And I guess one piece of advice I would give is just make sure you have earplugs, because it's loud. If you get a chance to go on the infield, that's a lot of fun. Get to watch the race, and if you get a chance to take a tour of the pit, that's even better. So I love it. I think it's the grassroots of America, and truly, I do believe that every person that's a NASCAR fan is a Craig Campbell fan too. So I love it.
New song Outskirts of Heaven on NASCAR USA this weekend. We'll talk about Garth Brooks recording one of his songs and putting it on Garth's album. And maybe I'll take you to the show when they come to town. He's going to be opening for Luke Bryan this summer too.
Yeah,
good stuff.
I liked his checklist. He basically nailed it on going to a NASCAR race. And by the way, we also put up on our Twitter feed at MRN Radio, he and his daughter Presley did a cover of Taylor Swift and Zayn's "I Don't Want to Live Forever." It's amazing. She's 8 years old and just crushes
Impressive.
it. Very good.
That was
You
cool.
can find that link on our Twitter page at MRN Radio. All right, when we come back, we're going to make our first crew call. We'll make it out west, and we'll make it to Cole Pearn, crew chief of the 78, when we return here on MRN Crew Call.
O'Reilly. If your vehicle isn't stopping like it used to, visit O'Reilly Auto Parts for the Spring Brake Deals event. Take advantage of the O'Reilly Auto Parts Do It Right rebate and get a $20 O'Reilly gift card by mail when you buy a set of Brake Best Select pads and a pair of rotors. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Creekstone Farms is back with an exclusive offer for MRN fans. By using promo code MRN25, you'll receive 25% off your first order at creekstonefarms.com now through March 31st. That's 25% off juicy premium Black Angus beef and succulent all-natural Duroc pork. For over 20 years, Creekstone Farms has been fueling restaurants and food lovers across the nation with the highest quality beef and pork products, all raised and grazed in the USA. Just one bite and you'll be a fan for life. Use code MRN25 today at creekstonefarms.com.
It's time to start pouring concrete, and the Housby mixer system is ready for the job. The Housby mixer system was created specifically with the driver in mind. All controls and specs are completely customizable to your operations. Our durable, driver-friendly mixer can be mounted on all truck types, and our expert support is second to none. On-site and live phone support is just a phone call away. For more information, visit Housby.com. Housby, an official sponsor of NASCAR for over 40 years.
Thank you for holding. Now back to MRN Crew Call with Tony and Kid.
Welcome back to the old show, Graham. Kid Cruz, Tony Rizzuti here. By the way, I mentioned this earlier. It's STP week here at MRN as we get ready for the STP 500 at Martinsville. And for over 60 years, STP has been on the cutting edge developing products to help engines perform at their best. Their latest breakthrough additive, STP Ultra 5-in-1 Plus Fuel System Cleaner Plus Fuel Stabilizer, deep cleans your entire fuel system and helps keep stored fuel fresh. STP week here on MRN. Let's make our first crew call of the afternoon. We'll make it out to Colorado. The Furniture Row shops, the 78 Toyota. Martin Truex Jr. is the driver. Cole Pearn is the crew chief. Cole, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, third in points so far. You got the victory from Las Vegas. You had a dominating run at Auto Club last week before finishing fourth. Assess the season so far. I got to feel like you're pretty happy.
Yeah, it's been going pretty well so far, I guess. We had a good car this past weekend. Would have been nice to have a better shot to win, but still, we've been each week been competitive, and it's definitely what you never know where you're going to start out, so it's good to start out on the right foot.
Hey, one of the big things coming into this year were the stages that were added to the format, and you guys have done an amazing job. Obviously, 3-stage wins. I think you've been in the top 5-6 times as well. Do you feel like this many races in that you have a blueprint or a strategy going forward on how to manage the stages, or has it really been just having a fast car in track position?
Yeah, that definitely a fast car in track position is always the best recipe. But it's been definitely a bit of a learning curve with the stages, especially, each track you go to is a little bit different as far as, what the strategy is required. So it's been kind of an evolving thing, and one we're still getting comfortable. I definitely like it, though. It adds a lot more thought to it through the whole race for sure.
Hey, Cole, got a question. I got a question for you here. I'm tripping myself up again. It's because I've been on that 7-day cruise. I've been just kind of hanging out, drinking Miller Lite, and now I have to get serious. So obviously you're from Canada. You must enjoy the climate out there. You guys are over in Colorado. I imagine that's a little more favorable to you. I'd rather be south on that cruise again. But it gives you an opportunity to occasionally see your Maple Leafs, your Toronto Maple Leafs when they come to town, huh?
Yeah, definitely. I miss. They typically come once a year, and I've done a bad job at getting to see them. I think I've only been a couple times. Last year, I think at Christmas I was flying back to Toronto the night they were playing here, so that wasn't a very very well planned deal. But no, I still try and follow them and pretty much watch as many games as I can.
Yeah, and they're doing pretty well. They got a shot, right? They're going to be in the playoffs, huh? How far do you think they can go?
Who knows? I mean, they had a big win last night, so hopefully they keep going. It's fun seeing all the rookies score and produce the way they are. So it's I think as young a team as they have, it's really unknown as far as how far they'll go. But they are exciting to watch, that's for sure.
Cole, you guys added a second team over at Furniture Row with Eric Jones coming on board with the 5-Hour Energy Toyota. How has that meshed so far? Have you seen an advantage to having 2 cars as opposed to 1?
It's been going pretty well so far. Obviously, a lot of work, fell on, everybody in our shop. It's been, it's been a huge workload and a huge push to, kind of get it all going. But each week it's getting better and, kind of getting more back to normal and a little bit more routine as we go. So definitely having those 3 West Coast races gave us, a good opportunity to get caught up and, get a bit more organized. So it's coming, definitely, the kid's he's doing a great job and the team's doing all the guys on that team are doing a good job. So it's definitely nice having the added resources from that standpoint.
We've got the STP 500 coming up, Martinsville Raceway this weekend. This has been a pretty good track for you guys. I was actually going through the stats at MRN.com, and over the last 4 races, Martin has the second best average finish, 9.3, second only to Kyle Busch. What are the expectations this weekend for the STP 500?
Oh, that's good to know. It's always, I think we always go in, ready to grin and bear it. We seem to do okay. So it's one we've, with its slot in the chase, it's a really important race. So we got a little bit different tire going this time, new rules package. So it'll be a bit of a learning curve that way. But we're just we got a good handle of what we got to do to be better. We seem to run really well in the early part of the race. Don't quite close the deal, but I think we're going to keep pushing and hopefully get a grandfather clock before long.
Yeah, that's a heck of a trophy. Hey, appreciate your time. I know things are busy this time of year as you ramp up. Congratulations on the win so far this year. You're in the playoffs, and good luck this weekend in the STP 500.
All right, thanks for having me on, guys.
There he is, Cole Pearn, crew chief for Martin Truex Jr. What a start to them. I mean, they've been dominant. When we talk about it, a lot of people have said the Joe Gibbs cars and the Toyotas so far haven't really shown the speed. Well, you got to take the 78 out of this mix because they've been dominating.
I was sitting there on the couch. I was watching the race, also listening to MRN, of course, and I said to my girlfriend, I said, this guy has a real shot to win the championship this year. I mean, I want him to close the deal. I want it to happen. How huge would that be? That would I think that'd be very exciting for NASCAR.
Yeah, Cole's a good guy. Martin's obviously a great guy. It's good for that team. Barney Visser's put a lot of his own money into it to build it up. I mean, when they first came out, they were kind of a laughing stock of the garage. Like, are these guys serious?
No.
They've turned around. It's been a great story. It's too legit. Right?
Quit. We have to quit here.
Too legit to quit.
Timeout.
All right, we will take a break right now here on Crew Call. When we come back, Altamont, Illinois' favorite son, Kurt Becker. He joins us on MRN Crew Call.
O'Reilly.
If your vehicle isn't stopping like it used to, visit O'Reilly Auto Parts for the Spring Brake Deals event. Take advantage of the O'Reilly Auto Parts Do It Right rebate and get a $20 O'Reilly gift card by mail when you buy a set of Brake Best Select pads and a pair of rotors. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
If you or your family love the freedom of swimming any time of year, if you love sharing good times and making great memories, or if you want one of the best total body workouts ever, then it's time to discover the 3 C's of your very own endless pool. The first C is convenience. Imagine swimming year-round in your own private swimming pool, installed indoors or out, just steps away. The second C is comfort. With sculpted spa seats and your own adjustable temperature, you can easily escape the stress of your day. And the third C is cost. Your endless pool is an affordable luxury at a fraction of the cost of a regular pool. And here's a bonus C, choice. Because when you call for your free Endless Pool Idea Kit, you'll receive information on our full line of pools to suit your budget and location.
Call now for free information. 800-283-8089. 800-283-8089.
I'm sorry, Mr. France isn't available right now. Let me connect you to Tony Rizzuti and Kid Cruz.
Hey, who else would you want to talk to? Kid Cruz, Tony Rizzuti, we're here. I know who you'd want to talk to. You'd want to talk to the man who is the host of the MRN pre-race show. He is Altamont, Illinois' Kurt Becker. Kurt, how are you today?
Guys, it's good to be with you. Kim Kuhn and I have a lot of fun with that show each weekend, and it's great to have a chance to catch up with you all today.
By the way, how did Altamont do last night? Come on.
Know, I've been fighting a cold, and I had to go to the doctor this morning, and this is no kidding. The doctor, she does the examination, and she writes out the prescription, and she says, hey, by the way, I'm kind of a proud mom. My son belted a 3-run homer for Altamont last night. So apparently things are good.
Nice. I know you're on top of it. Hey, it's always interesting to find out how announcers got their start here at MRN. You have a very varied career. I don't know that you can put those two words together, but I just did. Tell us how you got your start, and when did you get your start here at MRN?
Well, I grew up in a horse racing family, and my dad announced a lot of Midwestern county fair horse races and demolition derbies. And I became a NASCAR fan at age 9. And by age 16, I had discovered Motor Racing Network. And I remember the gentleman who did the voiceover talent for MRN was a man by the name of Rick Lewis. And I remember as he was doing the closing credits one day, he actually gave the mailing address for any correspondence with the network. So at age 16, I had just started helping my dad announce county fair events. I started writing to John McMullen, who was the executive producer of the network at the time. John said, "You're young, stay in touch, let me know how the horse racing thing is going." And by the time I was, I guess, 24 years old, something like that, John gave me an audition, and I became part of the team and have enjoyed it ever since. And our current leadership, headed up by David Hyatt, everybody's just been fantastic to me.
I had a great opportunity to be on my very first Daytona 500 broadcast with Kurt Becker earlier this year. Kurt, I had a little clip with Lady Antebellum. You played it on the show. I didn't realize at the time I was working with a Hall of Famer. You're a friend of basketball in the state of Illinois. You're in some sort of Hall of Fame. What is this about?
Well, here in Illinois, the Illinois Basketball Coaches Association, they have a Hall of Fame, and they not only induct athletes, but they will induct people who have been supportive in one way or another of high school basketball in the state of Illinois. And one of my favorite pastimes for many, many years has been researching the history of high school basketball up and down the I-70 corridor where I live. And the reason is it's just such an important a part of a small town culture. My hometown is a town of 2,000 people. And in the wintertime, one of the best excuses to get out of the house and enjoy some entertainment for a relatively nominal admission fee is to go to watch the high school basketball team. So that's kind of where that originated.
And maybe 50-cent popcorn too, $1 popcorn, what do they
that.
charge there? So all that research led to you being an author, which I never knew, Kurt. So you wrote, you're actually a 2-time author, is this true? I'm digging up deep dirt here.
You've done your homework.
Yes.
I collaborated with a local newspaper here in my home county to publish a hardbound book on the history of local and area high school basketball in central Illinois. And the other book I did was a self-published book back in the mid-1990s on the history of demolition derby.
Wow.
Demolition derby is kind of a controlled chaos, you might say.
No.
And it was really, that was my first exposure to any form of motorsport competition with the County Fair Demo Derby.
Hey, we got to take a break real quick, but before I do, a lot of fans have heard your voice. They don't know it's you at Barrett Jackson Auctions. You often introduce the cars that are coming by, so I need to ask you, has there ever been a time that you said to yourself, if I had David Hyatt money, I'd bid on that car? Has there been a special car you wish you could have bid on?
Oh, there have been so many over the years that should have been bought. I get text messages from my older brother who likes classic cars, my buddies back here in Illinois, and I think at times they've wanted to kick me for not putting my hand in the air because they'll say, "Why didn't you bid on that car?" But it is absolutely, it's just, when they come across the stage, you just kind of drool looking at those cars.
Oh, it's beautiful. We love that, seeing you on that. Hey, you want to play a little game with us?
Absolutely.
All right, stay on hold. When we come back, Kurt Becker, Kid Cruz, 5 on 5 off here on MRN Crew Call.
Citywide to countryside, whatever you drive, wherever you go. Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading warranty to get you there, no matter where the road takes you. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
O'Reilly.
If your vehicle isn't stopping like it used to, visit O'Reilly Auto Parts for the Spring Brake Deals event. Take advantage of the O'Reilly Auto Parts Do It Right rebate and get a $20 O'Reilly gift card by mail when you buy a set of Brake Best Select pads and a pair of rotors. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Driver safety is the #1 priority in racing. It's also the #1 priority in trucking. The Detroit Assurance Suite of safety systems helps to protect drivers, their trucks, and other motorists by helping to mitigate the severity of collisions. Active brake assist, adaptive cruise control, and lane departure warning, all bringing a new level of safety and protection to the road. Don't just want better business solutions, demand them. Learn more at demanddetroit.com.
Time now for Motor Racing Network's #1 game show. The game where MRN talent prove their mettle against the unshakable Kid Cruz to see if they've truly earned the right to sit atop the pit box or if they're simply a tool. It's 5 on, 5 off on MRN Crew Call.
It is time for 5 on 5 off. And Kid, you know the toughest thing about doing this show at noon is it makes me hungry. All these folks out here are eating their lunch. I'm hungry, and when I get hungry, you know what I think about? Creekstone Farms. And Creekstone Farms is back with a exclusive offer just for MRN fans. Look at that steak right there. Man, that looks good. Hey, use promo code MRN25 for 25% off your first order of premium Black Angus beef and all-natural Duroc pork. It's now through March 31st, so we're closing in on the end of this deal. Order today at creekstonefarms.com. All right, folks, it's time for the game. You know how we play. It's not about getting the question right. It's getting closest. We have Kurt on hold, so he cannot hear the answers. We mentioned today's theme is hot diggity. So are you ready to go, Kid Cruz? It's been a week.
Ready? I know I have to shake the dust off. As ready as I'm ever going to be.
All right.
What's the topic again? Wait a minute.
Hot diggity.
Hot diggity. Okay.
All right. Producer Craig Moore has put 45 seconds on the clock, and your time starts now. What year was the hot dog introduced on Coney Island?
1888.
Carts in New York City started selling hot dogs in 1906. What was the original price for 2 hot dogs?
10 cents.
Joey Chestnut holds the record for most hot dogs eaten at the Nathan's annual contest. How many did he eat?
He ate 82.
Rounding to an even number, how many hot dogs will Martinsville Speedway sell this weekend?
10,000. That's low.
Hot Dog was the 4th track on Led Zeppelin's 1979 album In Through the Outdoor. What was the length of that song?
7.5 minutes.
There we go.
I have no
Kid
idea.
Cruz
No clue.
is locked and loaded. You have a little
sell
time
like
to spare.
100,000 hot dogs or something. I don't know.
You think it's a lot more than that?
Yeah,
let's bring Kurt Becker back in. Kurt, are you with us?
Yes, sir, guys.
I think you got a chance on this one. Here's how we play the game. I'm going to ask you 5 ridiculous trivia questions. You shouldn't know the answers. If you do, I'm concerned. Of course, I'm concerned with you anyway. You just have to get closest to the answer. That's how we play the game. You got 45 seconds. We'll put that up on the clock. Thank you, Craig Moore. And your time will start right now. What year was the hot dog introduced on Coney Island?
1910.
Carts in New York City started selling hot dogs in 1906. What was the original price for 2 hot dogs?
50 cents.
Joey Chestnut holds the record for the most hot dogs eaten at the Nathan's annual contest. How many did he eat?
47.
Rounding to an even number, how many hot dogs will Martinsville Speedway sell this weekend?
I'm going to say 10,000.
Well, that'll work.
All right.
Hot Dog was the 4th track on Led Zeppelin's 1979 album, In Through the Outdoor. What was the length of that song?
I'm going to say 7 minutes.
7 minutes.
Ooh,
Wow,
a good one.
Guys are y'all like on the
I know.
same.
Well, Kurt and I, we're
wavelength.
like twins. We vibe, man. We're dogs on the road.
By the way, I
Speaking of dogs,
misspoke. It's Robbie Mays who keeps our time. He's the official timekeeper of Crew Call. That's an official thing.
Right.
And if I don't say it, I have to put $1 in the bucket.
I
so.
think I'm kicking his rear end back to Altamont
You
on this
think
one.
you did
I think
pretty
I got
well?
it, Kurt.
Let's
I love
find
it.
out. We mentioned producer Craig Moore. He actually has the answers to these things. Craig, the first question was, what year was the hot dog introduced on Coney Island? Kid said.
1888.
And Kurt said.
1910.
The correct answer.
1870.
1870.
Yeah,
Kid
we'll go to
Cruz.
Why couldn't you guys have the picture of me wearing Joey Chestnut's belt? I know all about the dogs on Coney Island.
Look
and
at
stuff.
you.
Seen that?
Yeah, you were closest.
You missed that, Robbie Mays.
Carts in New York City started selling hot dogs in 1906. What was the original price for 2 hot dogs? Kid said.
10 cents.
And Kurt said.
50 cents.
The correct answer.
5 cents.
A nickel, fellas. 2-0, Kid
Tater up
Cruz.
2.
Man.
Kurt's he's under the weather today.
Kurt, are you sweating a little bit right now?
I tell you what, I'm sweating from places I didn't know I had.
Wow, that was TMI. We had a doctor's appointment and now this.
Poor dum-dum.
All right, let's see if you can get back into the game right here. Joey Chestnut, who's apparently Kid Cruz's boy, so he shouldn't miss this one, has the record for most hot dogs eaten in the Nathan's annual contest. How many did he eat? Craig Kidd said.
He said 82.
82. And Kurt said.
Mr. Becker said 47.
47. We're going to have to do math on this one. The correct answer.
73.
And that one, again, goes
Tater.
to Kid Cruz. At this point in time, Kurt, you're just trying to salvage some type of self-respect. You realize that, right?
Well, I'm used to doing these trivia things in stages, like there's a stage 1, a stage 2, and then a final stage.
Well, maybe you'll still pick up a stage win here. Those points move on to the playoffs. Question number 4, even number, because I don't know the exact number, but they did give us an even number. How many of those famous Martinsville hot dogs, I like them STP style with all the additives, how many will they sell this weekend? Kid said.
10,000.
And Kurt said.
10,000.
Wow.
It's like 100,000, I think.
At worst here, Kurt, you at least get a half a point. A halfpenny, if you will. Craig, the correct answer.
50,000.
50,000.
I think they should both lose. For
Dude, the
missing by that
postman's
much.
good for 1,000.
Well,
right there. So
not anymore.
All right, it's 3.5 to a half. And our final question, hot dog. I didn't even know there was a Led Zeppelin song named Hot Dog, but it was the 4th track on the 1979 album In Through the Outdoor. What was the length of that song? Kid said
7.5 minutes.
7.5 minutes. Kurt said
7 minutes.
Fellas, the correct answer was
3 minutes and 15 seconds.
3 minutes and 15 seconds. Kurt actually is on the board, but Kid Cruz once again retains the title of 5-on, 5-off champion. That was solid right there. Kurt, any words of congratulations for your friend here, in good sportsmanship, which I know they show in Altamont?
Well, for some reason, the first thing that went through my mind was when the famous Darrell Waltrip quote, "I hope he chokes on that 200,000."
Ah, very nice. Hey, buddy, we look forward to hearing you on the pre-race show this weekend. Thanks for everything you do for the network. You've been a great, fun guest to have on today, and look forward to hearing you this weekend. Take care.
Fellas, all kidding aside, it's been great to be with you, and we'll look forward to seeing you in Martinsville.
There he goes.
Thank you, Kurt.
A man that knows a little something about horsepower. How's it feel to get a win? Taylor didn't break I even had a tiebreaker question. We'll save that for another time.
I win most of the time, unlike Tyler, who thought it would be the easiest game in the world, and then he came in here and just
in a little coat.
he came in and broke the game. He came in and broke the game.
We are going to get abused on Friday. By the way,
Chris Farley.
Tyler Burnett and Robbie Mays host the Inside Line. It's your fantasy fix for the weekend. If you want to win your fantasy league, check that out Friday at noon. This week, it'll probably be 30 minutes before practice. So I think we have, but I mean, you pull out stats that Cole Pearn doesn't even know. 10:30. Craig is telling me. Craig and Robbie. 10:30 will be Tyler and Robbie this weekend. It'll be a lot of fun. Kid, thanks for being back. Enjoyed the show.
Thanks. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right. As
usual.
always, thanks for tuning in. For Kid, I'm Tony. We'll see you next time on MRN Crew Call.
Tweet me.
You've been listening to MRN Crew Call, presented by Hercules Tires. Stream us every Wednesday at noon on MRN.com or on the MRN app. MRN Crew Call is also available on demand in the MRN.com Media Center, on our Facebook page, on YouTube, or download it through iTunes or Google Play. MRN Crew Call is a production of the Motor Racing Network. Goodbye.